Fire might have played an important part in the mission, but it was a different kind of fire that left everyone shooketh.
I will be shooketh if Sam doesn't come back.
I have to thank Matthew for that. Sometimes I will randomly use this word, but it's been a hot minute since I have. Anyway, we had the all-important result of who out of Maz, Reese and Sam would receive the gift of being face to face with the traitors as they sealed the chosen faithful's death in the game. Sam was released before Stephen, so we had to wait until breakfast to find out if it was Maz or Reese. After putting him on the shortlist twice, whatever beef Fiona had with Maz is now over, as he was the one that was murdered. I'm trying to remember if Fiona knew Maz was an ex-cop, and maybe she didn't want him rumbling her identity. That meant Reese had a reprieve, but the day was not going to be kind to him. Each time Sam, Stephen and Reese entered the breakfast room, questions were thrown at them. The level of scrutiny increased with each player. Things weren't looking good for Reese. It just felt like once again he was going to be one of the names on the chopping block. Despite what Sam had said the previous night, there could be enough players to vote Reese out. The players were back out in the beautiful Scottish countryside, though what seems to be a regular occurrence was that they were going to be doing a mission while it was raining. They needed to go into the woods, find spears, light the spear and set fire to some tall looking beasts. With 20 minutes to complete the mission, there would be £1,000 added for every lit beast. The downside of the mission, apart from all the running and getting wet, was that every time they plunged a beast they needed to shout out a name of one of the players. This meant that player would not be safe from murder. Reese sacrificed himself and shouted his own name when he plunged the spear. My first thought was that this was not going to be a good look for him. His reasoning was that someone was going to do it anyway and he didn't want to call anyone else's name. To me it looked like he probably knew he was going to be banished, and it almost felt like Reese was giving up. I've seen a few times that the constant accusations and continually having to defend yourself but not being believed can wear faithful down. We had seen Reese break down after the previous banishment and things were not getting better for him. In the end, £9,000 was added to the prize pot. Those that had their name called out were Amanda, Ellie, Faraz, Fiona, Jade, Matthew, Reese, Sam and Stephen. Jesse started things off circling back to those that were in the room when Ben made his declaration about Ross. Add Jesse's suspicions of Stephen being involved in Ross's stitch-up and players like Faraz who couldn't get over the fact Stephen wasn't murdered, things were looking uncomfortable for Stephen. This long running saga between Amanda and Jade is getting boring. At least Jade has actually switched her vote a couple of times. Amanda has tunnel vision when it comes to Jade, and it reminds me of another faithful from one of the international editions who kept going after the same faithful. It didn't end well. Before the round table I thought Amanda might actually change her mind and vote for someone else, but apparently I was asking for too much. I don't know if Amanda just processes information together incorrectly or it was the edit, but Sam didn't mention any names earlier when he was talking about the traitors probably being more tied than him. Sam only mentioned Reese when questioned who he suspects the most, and Sam said it was based on the previous roundtable. No one corroborated Amanda or Sam's version of it. Was that an editorial decision or did no one bother to? Amanda, Reese, Sam and Stephen were the main topics of conversation, and they all got votes along with Jade and Ellie. I just didn't think things were gonna go down the way they did. There ended up being a tied vote between Amanda and Reese, with them both receiving 5 votes. When it came to the re-vote, Jesse was the last person to vote. I really thought Jessie would vote for Reese, but she ended up voting for Amanda, which then took it to another tied vote. That meant we had a reappearance of the Chest of Chance, recently seen on the Celebrity Traitors. I'm not a fan of the Chest of Chance. I like it when other versions tell them to re-vote, but they can vote for anyone but those that were tied. I want the fate of the banished player decided by others and not by who picks the correct box. I feel it makes it more exciting for me. Amanda ended up picking the empty chest and was banished. With Amanda's banishment, it meant 2 ex-members of the police force were eliminated in the same episode. Their expertise helped them vote for the traitors for a combined number of 1, and that was when Maz voted for Hugo. Let this be added to the many lessons that your job doesn't automatically mean you'll be good at catching traitors. Amanda had earlier told Rachel about her previous job as a police detective. Funny how those skills didn't help Amanda figure out that her closest ally is a traitor. How does Reese keep escaping both banishment and murder? He has many lives in this game. Will it keep wearing him down or give him a fresh bolt of energy to mentally get back into this game? I thought there would be a little secret reveal in Reese's confessional. There's still time. Maybe Reese is saving it for when he gets banished. I can't shake the feeling that Amanda and Reese knew each other before. With Amanda's banishment and 2 of the traitors being amongst the faithfuls without a shield, it meant that Ellie, Faraz, Jade, Matthew, Reese and Sam would be up for murder. I think they should go for anyone but Reese and Sam. There wouldn't even be a chance for us to witness the discussions between the traitors because something was about to go down and Claudia was nowhere to be found. The drama that came after the round table took me by surprise. Rachel went round telling everyone about Amanda's job. Why did she feel the need to start announcing Amanda's business like she was a train announcer or town crier? If Amanda wanted them to know, she would have said it before her reveal. Rachel looked a little smug doing so, just like she did at the round table with the turret question to Ross. Fiona wasn't impressed and started to plant things about Rachel to Harriet. Fiona actually told everyone that she thinks Rachel is a traitor. I did say Rachel and Stephen should be worried, but Rachel should be really worried. I also said that Fiona kind of scares me, and I was right about that feeling. I'm taking back my comment that Fiona is becoming my favourite traitor. This was messy. Good for TV, but messy gameplay, and it didn't need to happen. Fiona went rogue very loudly and acted a bit jealous of Rachel, almost like she was offended that Amanda would dare tell anyone but her that Amanda was a detective. Just because your family are coppers doesn't mean you should automatically know that piece of information. Fiona didn't even believe Rachel. If this conflict grows, smart faithfuls will see this as a traitor versus traitor battle. The jury's out whether collectively these are smart faithfuls. There's definitely a couple, namely Harriet and Jesse, and Faraz is looking like he might be joining them. Though he can't see it through the pure shock, this could prove helpful in Stephen's survival. Can you imagine if Stephen ends up lasting longer than Fiona and Rachel? I was thinking Stephen would be the next traitor to be banished. In fact, in one reply in the comments, I said I didn't think any of them would win. I firmly believe that if a traitor wins, it will be one that is blackmailed or recruited. I was expecting a bit more from everything in this episode, purely based on a headline from a quote that was in the press. The talk leading up to this episode was building things up, so I was expecting a bit more. Don't get me wrong, this was a good episode. That wasn't as explosive as I thought it would be. Maybe my expectations are higher. To be honest, even if this was the only version I had watched, it still wouldn't have warranted a press briefing to big it up. I didn't read the full article, but if you did, let me know in the comments if it lived up to it.